y'all, how are you doing? Um, so it's been exactly 1 month since my FFS surgery with Dr. Mardirossian in Florida. I'm now back in Seattle, and the weather's a little different here than in Florida, but that's all right. So I'm doing good. The surgery went really well, and I'm happy with the results right now. I'm happy. I'm really happy. It's very weird seeing a different face here, but I'm getting used to it better every week. Um, and yeah, it's my face now, so I, I'm keeping it. So I have to keeping a positive attitude about it. But yeah, even without that positive attitude, I'm happy. So the first thing is like my dysphoria around my face. It's wild. It's just gone. It kind of feels um, like I want to say phantom limb, but it's like I feel like it's hard to look at myself without that dysphoria. So it's kind of odd realizing it's not there. But in its place right now is just kind of weirdness about my face, it being new. Like last night, it was late, and I was walking to the bathroom, and I walked by this like a vanity mirror. I saw my face, and I startled the hell out of me because I didn't recognize it as myself, but just for a second. So yeah, it's doing good. So yeah, I'll talk about what happened. I mean, my recovery overall is doing really well. I don't have any pain. Mainly, what the feeling right now is mainly the only negative things right now really are I feel itchiness on the places that are healing still. So my incision down here, my incision up here, and the top of my head where it's healing. Um, and kind of my sinuses are kind of healing, and my nose is kind of healing as well. It's still it tends to be very dry in my nose. Um, so like right now it's really dry, but I can breathe way better than before, which is great. I'm hoping it gets a little better once the heals in there because it's just very dry, a little painful right now, not bad at all. And then you can see my incisions. This is really easy to hide with makeup, but I just didn't do anything with it right here. But you could see the incision here. It's healing very well, I think. But you could see there it's 1 month, and it's pretty good. It's like a little red, and there's a little stuff there, but it's healing pretty well. And then I have my head incision, which is a bit. Well, I'll show you. So it's up here. So you can see it goes all the way around. And it's a little more intense of an incision, but it's healing pretty well too. The hair was kind of, I guess, shaven a little bit, and it's starting to pop through. So I guess I could talk about those results right now. I'll talk about my forehead first, I suppose, since I'm pointing at it already. And I'm going to bring out my cool chopsticks, because why not? So you can see here, this is pretty far down. Dr. Mardirossian said it was, I believe, so he said it was 5 centimeters, which is pretty much the max that's ever can be done on the ends. And then I forget, like 4 centimeters, 3.5 centimeters, I think, in the middle. And that's a lot. It's not as rounded as I would have hoped, but it's a lot more rounded than it was. And yeah, I think it'll be, there's some hair there, I guess, but we'll see once it heals all the way. So, yeah, I don't know. But you could see here, I guess, there are little short hairs coming out of here. So I guess it was kind of shaved, and what Dr. Mardirossian apparently is pretty cool with stitches, and does this technique where part of the scalp, the skin goes under another part. So it's kind of hairs poking through the incision there. So I could see that, and it's pretty short. So once those grow out, my hairline will be a little lower than it is now. So I'm looking forward to that too. Right now, my forehead still feels kind of high. I don't know how much of that's just me not used to my forehead yet, but some of it's this too. This gap I have right now. So I'm still, that's why I was wearing a headband and having my bangs down. I'm just kind of used to that. I'll part my hair for the rest of the video just so I can get used to it. So yeah, that's great. I'm super happy with my forehead. It's like, oh, it's so nice not having my forehead way up here. It's fantastic. Yeah, so around here there were, I don't really get it, but there are incisions going back that had staples in there on both sides, and like behind the incision from here, around here, it all feels like a helmet, like I'm wearing a helmet. I don't feel on my skin. Once I go down here, I can, and I could kind of feel the feeling, the sense of touch coming back up. It's kind of creeping back up as the nerves reform. So right here in my head, I could feel just as normal, but I go up here and it starts to feel like a helmet. But supposedly, over, I don't know, 6 months or so, it just gets better and better and better. So, and Dr. Mardirossian said it gets better for everyone. There's risk of it not coming back, but it's pretty uncommon. I don't think he's had any patients that it hasn't come back with, but at least that I've told him. So that's great. I would like to feel the top of my head, so that's cool. Yeah, and then here, my brow ridge, my mark of AMAB is gone, which is fantastic. I love it. It's odd getting used to that, but I just love it. I love it so much. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's really great. So I'm really happy with it. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit of numbness, but not really. It's pretty much healed. Like right here, it's a little tiny bit kind of numb, but it's good. It's like, I don't understand how you get rid of all of that bone and it feels normal, but it does. And I don't remember if I said last video, but, and you probably didn't watch last video, which is fine. But he did type 1 forehead or brow bone forehead contouring, whatever it's called, which is normally what is done these days is a type 3, which is desirable for most people of FFS or forehead contouring. And what that does is there's a nasal cavity back there, and they'll cut out a piece of bone and then push it back into the nasal cavity, so the nasal cavity becomes smaller, and the bone goes back. So that wasn't a good explanation, but that's what it is. But I didn't have much of a cavity here, so in that case he just shaved it down. Usually they don't shave it down because there's that cavity. It would just go into that cavity and then you'd have there wouldn't be bone there. But for me, it's completely fine. Like, I have a tiny little cavity back there, but yeah, it's fine. So that's great. That means usually with the type 3, they put it back together with this like titanium plate or some kind of metal plate. And I don't have a plate in my head, which is nice. I mean, it supposedly doesn't affect your life at all, but it's nice having a metal plate in my head. But yeah, I would have taken it. So yeah, that's fantastic. So like right here is definitely a big change. Over here is a big change, and then on the middle of the brow too. I guess he did a little bit of a brow lift over here. I mean, it's hard to notice because the bigger change is getting rid of the bone, but I'm glad it's not really kind of extreme. Like, I didn't want like a surprised face, so I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that's my forehead. Super happy about that, and that's what the world sees when I go outside now because I'm always wearing a mask. It's COVID time right now. So yeah, and then down below, so my nose is quite a bit different now, and it's actually really swollen still. In the middle, it's gone down a lot, like a really lot. But it's still swollen and like kind of hard as a rock right now on my tip. And it doesn't feel swollen the rest of my nose, but it's just kind of odd. I could feel it healing and it's a little bumpy, that kind of thing. So what happened here is you could see it's um, whatever you call it, a curve. um, excuse me. I was worried about it becoming like a big ski slope, but it's actually great. I love it. Um, it's it's great. Fantastic. I love it. And my nose is pointed up. And like looking like a profile, I thought it wouldn't look good this much of a going up, but like a frontal view, I don't look have a pig nose at all, which is fantastic. Like pig nose meaning my nostrils being very visible like that. So yeah, I love it. My nostrils are a bit smaller too, but I still can breathe better. He like kind of removed the turbinates. So my turbinates, which are these, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to. I don't even know what they are exactly, but they're like tissue that can block your nasal cavities. And on the CT scan, my turbinates were blocking like my entire nasal cavity. Which is why when I breathed, it would I couldn't breathe through my nose without it making a sound really, unless I breathed really lightly. And now that's gone mostly. There's a little bit, but yeah, I guess that's still healing as well. And I guess it'll grow back. So Dr. Mardirossian said I could either get it lasered later on or just take antihistamines. So it's not the biggest deal, but I'm glad it feels better. And then you could see the incision here. Like I said, it's healing pretty good. I think. I don't really know what good healing looks like, but I think it does. It is. And there were absorbable stitches inside my nose a little bit, but those are gone, I think. I guess they're gone by now. I didn't notice anything. So along with my nose, I also did a lip lift, which you could tell with my chopsticks. Originally I pushed my chopsticks up to imitate it, and now it's done. I can't even really do it anymore. So that's fantastic. I'm really happy with it. It's odd that I have an upper lip now, but I still love it. It's fantastic. It's really good. Like this, my philtrum, the skin here, it's a good length now. It's such dysphoria around that and my upper lip. So I'm super happy with that. Yeah, it's great. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, overall I'm really happy. My lip, by the way, there's no real healing on my lip. Yeah, there's nothing. The healing is right here as far as my lip goes. There's nothing there. That's healing. So that's fantastic. So I have some props here. So one thing I've been using a lot of is this Simply Saline. I also tried another brand, but I've been using this. It's just a saline spray. All it is water, like distilled water, and salt. And this salt has a tiny bit of baking soda, because I guess it's Arm & Hammer. They have to put baking soda in everything, I guess. But I don't know. I looked it up and it's pretty benign, I guess. And I buy it instead of making it because it's just going up your nose, and I want it to be sterile. Even if I had distilled water and I was putting it in a spray bottle, I wouldn't trust it. But this lasts forever. So I mean, what it does is you just shake it, stick it up your nostril and spray it. Let me see if I can spray this. It sprays water up, and yeah, it clears out your nostrils. It leaks down as well, but I usually tilt my head back while I'm spraying it, and that helps a lot with flushing it out, and also when my nose is dry. Also keep a humidifier. I mean, if this is winter and it gets really dry inside in the winter here, so I keep a humidifier running at all times. So I recommend that if you're in a dry place indoors. And another thing, so on top of the incisions, I've been there are various things people do to help it heal. Like Dr. Mardirossian recommended like using polysporin at the very beginning and then switching to like Vaseline, which is supposed to help. I think it does help, but I don't know. I'm creeped out by Vaseline because it's just petroleum. So I've been using this unpetroleum jelly, which is like mostly just castor oil, a little bit of sunflower oil as well. It's thick. It's just like petroleum jelly, and I put it on over my incision. Like I could use a Q-tip, and that makes it nice line over my incision, or I just use my finger. It's messier, but that's fine. I was using this petroleum jelly on my forehead, but it just makes my bangs so greasy so fast that I stopped really using this on my forehead very much, and I've been using this stuff. This is a Derma E Scar Gel, and this is a little odder, and not. I don't feel as great about this actually doing good things, but yeah, it probably doesn't hurt, I guess. I mean, the only reason this stuff, I think the only reason this stuff really helps is because it kind of like makes it so your incisions don't dry out. And this stuff, I mean, it also, just like petroleum jelly, it stays on there for a while. It also has some like, I don't know, panthenol and allantoin. I guess some of it's like an onion extract that some people think helps with scar healing. I don't know. Got good reviews online, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would recommend it. I don't see. It's hard for me to tell if what's helping or not because I don't have anything to compare my scars healing against. But yeah. So I recommend that stuff, or just use petroleum jelly if you feel like it. Besides that, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm happy getting used to my face. The major things that will happen going forward is this will start to heal, and it really takes like 6 months. Some people say up to a year to like settle down into what your face really looks like. Your nose really looks like, I'm sorry. But it'll continue de-swelling and healing and getting to that point from now until then. And then my incisions will heal and my hair will grow out. So that's pretty much it. I might be a little swollen elsewhere, but not much. So yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm super happy I got it done. I was really worried about it not turning out well or regretting it. I regret it one day, like 3 days afterwards. I was feeling like super, super depressed that day about it. But since then, I've been neutral at worst, but I've been really happy about it other than that. So that's great. I've started to have a hobby of playing around with makeup more and hair stuff a little bit more since I've gotten this done, because I actually kind of like looking at my face now. Which is fantastic. It's not like it's better looking from an outsider perspective, I guess. I don't know if it is or not, whatever. But it's just without the dysphoria there. I can look at my face, which is like, it's really great. So yeah, I've been playing around with makeup more. I used it before, but it kind of felt like costumey sometimes because of dysphoria around my face. Maybe it's still costumey, but whatever. And yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, once this grows out, to figure out what I'm going to do with my hair. Like, I've had my bangs forever. I might stop. I might have a hairstyle without bangs for once in my life. So that's fantastic. Looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean, other questions like, I see a lot, how long do you need to take off work, that kind of thing. I'm glad I flew back from Florida 8 days after surgery, and I went back to work 11 days after surgery, but I'm working from home and I don't use video, so I'm just on the phone, and that was completely fine. And if I was in person or on video, I would probably want to be off work a little bit longer, maybe at least 2 weeks. Um, I mean, not necessarily, but it's just kind of your face. I mean, my nose especially was really swollen for the first 2 weeks. Like really, almost 3 weeks, it was really swollen. It's just kind of getting now where it's looks like a nose. It looks like a human nose to me. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. If anyone has any questions, you could comment, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber, so I think I get a notice if you comment. But yeah, hope y'all are doing good. I don't know if I'll do another one of these. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yeah, take care. Bye.